in a hexagonal way, taking the curves exactly at the angles that they're supposed to, and all that.
Yeah.
Right? Oh boy, that's pretty weird. Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, and so you have to ask yourself, well, what the hell is causing that? And then I think you would have to answer that it's something not natural.
Yeah.
And that's, there's a lot of weird hexagonal things. There's a bunch of hexagonal craters on the moon.
Right.
I mean, like perfect hexagonal craters. And Iapetus, which is a moon of Saturn, has three perfect hexagonal craters on it. And you've got to start asking yourself, well, how can a crater fall into a hexagonal pattern?
Right. And one of the moons, it looks like a Death Star, for one thing.
Yeah, that's Iapetus.
Is that the one? And the other weird thing about it is there are seams on it.
Yeah, it has a seam right around the equator, 3-mile-high seam.
Yeah.
With striations on it and everything.
Yeah, it's got to be an artificial device of some sort.
It is. It's an artificial device. It is. It's probably where the Archons live.
I was wondering where, I would guess that a lot of them are somewhere under the ground here.
Yep.
Since we seem to be suffering so much from their activities.
Well, I'll go one step further on this whole thing. What the Earth appears to be now in its slave state is a gigantic chi farm. And they are sucking our chi off.
Yeah.
And they're keeping us in a state of hypnosis.
Yep.
While they take our chi.
Yep.
Arthur C. Clarke, who wrote the screenplay to 2001: A Space Odyssey with Stanley Kubrick, wrote ostensibly the greatest science fiction novel of all time, Childhood's End.
Yes.
And the story of Childhood's End, for those who don't know it, is that one day a group of aliens with gigantic spaceships land, hey, you heard this story before, land over every city on Earth. This is where this whole idea started, was in the 1953 novel Childhood's End. And they essentially do not show themselves, so they're secret.
Yeah.
And they take over the planet, and they destroy all the cultures and all the religions, and they force a dictatorship onto the human beings, a benevolent dictatorship, a nice one, and they promise that after 50 years they'll show themselves. And then after 50 years, a spaceship lands, and Carillion, their leader, steps out, and he looks just like the devil. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? So, but this time they've wiped out all religions, so nobody has any bad feelings about this guy looking like the devil with the forked tail and the horns and everything. So they just think it's all right. And but no one really knows what these aliens, who are called the overlords, are really doing. They never tell anybody. They just tell everybody that human beings have something that's more important than anything that the overlords have. They never tell us what. Then, at the last part of the book, suddenly the children of the earth begin disassociating themselves from their parents, and they begin massing together. They all leave their families, and they begin massing together, and the overlords suck all the chi out of the children. Then they suck all the chi out of the planet until the entire planet is destroyed. And they leave. And that's the plot of Childhood's End.
Well, that almost seems like a documentary.
Exactly. And when you start thinking about it, that is that not only is that the ancient Gnostic myth of these archons, but it is what's going on.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that seems like we might have that is desirable, it's conceivable that it has something to do with our genetics, and it's possible that we have intergalactic genetics, that our genetics are so capable of translating into various forms that they're marketable.
Well, that is true, and we are intergalactic and all that. But what they really want is our chi. What we really are is we're humans, especially because of standing upright and the attenuation of our spine to these forces. We are super chi creators, and no animal or plant is producing the amount of chi that we're producing. A healthy human, that is.
Yeah.
And that is what they want. That is what we have that is so demanded by the aliens. They want our chi. Yeah. This goes back into child sex rings and what pedophiles are really doing. Pedophiles aren't really attracted to children. Yeah. They're stealing the children's chi. Their energy. They're stealing it. And that's what's going on. And Arthur C. Clarke was a pedophile.
Oh, I did not know.
Yep, just type it in. He advocated for the legalization.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if anybody would know, then it seems like he would have inside information, so to speak.
Well, it's just what, it's like, I think we are dealing with a very predatory group of people. And
there's no question about that.
Yeah, and we have to start figuring out a way around it, and the way around it is to take concentrated chi so that we have so much chi they can never get it, and then we'll be as powerful as they are, and then we can start equalizing things a little more.
Well, it seems like that's maybe one of our best hopes right now.
It is.
I've had guests on my show in the past years that have talked about living on chi. Jasmine, the breatharian, she lives on just chi without food, and many people, and from the Hindu and Vedic and other practices that is conceivable. And it's an invisible substance which is in the air, which you can extract if you know how to do it.
Yep.
But what you're talking about is the concentration of it and the consumption of it for the reversal of age, which it's unnatural for us to age so quickly.
It is.
Even the Bible says so-and-so lived to 395 years.
600, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it was 200 years, and then now we're lucky if we make it to 50 or 60 with all.
No, that's right, and it's been the genetics show that we should be able to live easily to 120, if not 200. So we can live a lot more than that. We're so smart, and we're just blowing it. It's just really irritating. This is our chance to throw a Hail Mary pass and win the game at the last second. And that's what I want to do.
Well, I'm all for you, and I'm all for that idea.
Yeah.
Because
I implore everybody to go to either the Sacred Mysteries where it says free stuff on the left, or go up to the top where it says the Golden Age has begun, or go to Jay Weidner and click on the Golden Age has begun. Go get the Book of Aquarius. Get on the forum. I bought all the flasks, retorts, and the water bath. I bought a used water bath on eBay for $200. I spent less than $300 on the entire thing. And that's it. I won't have to spend any more except for electricity.
Do you think that people on the forum will be contributing ideas about where to find things? And
yes, they are.
Maybe even putting together a package. If somebody's enterprising, they can find out where they can get the best cost for it and put together a package and say, look, hey, you send me, a couple $100 and you can have the whole darn package. And it works.
I hope that's the kind of thing that comes out of this. That's what I'm really hoping. I'm hoping there's enough people that can pull their head out of the sand and go, my God, this is true, and I want it for myself and my family, and to pursue it, and to do it and know that just pursuing it, you are helping free the human race.
That's right. That's right. And the alternative is a slow, not so slow, but a definitely assured death
Well, we're all going to die, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But letting it last a little bit longer is one thing. But the thing is they're coming after us, dude.
Yeah.
They're coming after us. They don't give a twit about us.
Yeah.
They want us to die, and I want to ruin their whole day.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I know there are a lot of people out there that feel exactly the same as we do.
Yeah, well, this is how we do it, without firing a shot.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yep. And the great thing is that, if I make the stone, I can send you some. So we can start sending it to each other, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's another thing. It's not just to you. You can start giving it to people.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to start selling it. I know it.
Oh, yeah. Well, now that's an enterprising idea.
Yes.
Think of what you could make on doing something like that. That'd be a phenomenal enterprise for someone.
I would say that somebody's going to do it, and then we'll see what the FDA does. Of course they are. Of course they're going to do it. This is America.
Right.
They're going to be on YouTube talking about how they look 15 years younger.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to watch it and go, I want that, I want that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they're going to take it, and then they're going to, why am I working?
Right.
Why am I in this terrible marriage? Why am I in this horrible religion?
Right. Exactly. And why am I even bothering with politics? Let's just
exactly.
All that.
Why am I even listening to these crumb bombs?
Right. Well, just shun them.
They won't even need them.
No,
they'll be useless. They won't need money. We won't need food. We won't need hardly anything.
Well, don't you think that's part of the great lie that they are more powerful than we are, and we really are the ones that are the powerful and creative and intelligent organic creators, and they feed off of us.
They do, and they got us believing. Yeah, they want you to be afraid. Just be afraid and shut up. Go back to sleep. The party's over.
Right.
They're like the cops with the batons. Okay, everybody go home.
Yeah.
It's like, screw you guys.
Well, and then they get us on they just dribble the technology out at whatever rate they want to keep us on the hook. So the next thing is, a bigger screen thing.
Yeah.
Then it'll be flat screens on the wall, and then it's, and they just keep stringing us along. I saw General Motors has a concept car that runs on hydrogen, and it's absolutely gorgeous. They probably had it 20 or 30 years ago. The technology was here long before that, and we know that they're all in cahoots and that they're keeping this suppressed. And they said, well, yes, we can probably bring this out in about 2 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And they've got one sitting right there in the showroom. What is wrong with this picture? It's the carrot and the stick.
Well, it is.
Promise them something in the future, and then it never pans out, and then we just change the game and steer them off course.
And that's how they do it all the time.
Yeah, it's called politics.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, bait and switch, yeah. I like David Icke's problem solution. What is it? Problem
reaction solution.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, it is the truth.
Jay, before we run out of time, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience and with your website?
No, I just encourage them to do this, and even if you don't believe it, kind of just do it anyway and stick with it, because I think once you start figuring out that it's completely logical, then you won't have to worry about it.
Absolutely. And they can download that off of your sacredmysteries.com site?
Yeah, they'll go right to the link and go to get the Book of Aquarius. The guy's giving it away for free. What more do you want? A 300-page book for free.
And it's interesting that it's titled, that it's written by Anonymous. It seems there are a lot of anonymous people these days, and God bless them.
Yes.
Well, Jay, thank you so much for coming back. As always, it's been a wonderful experience, and I look forward to our next Fireside chat. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Lance.
All right. Good night.